Hello and thanks for joining the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, 187 Nigerians evacuated from South Africa over xenophobic attacks arrive in Lagos. INEC releases primaries outcome in Bayelsa, Kogi State. Federal government vows to keep Nigeria's borders closed. And later on the show, President Muhammadu Buhari insists Boko Haram has been degraded, says remnants to be treated as bandits. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade-Otitoju and Charles Ideho. If you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us again. After relentless violent attacks on Nigerians and other foreigners in South Africa, President Muhammadu Buhari ordered evacuation of the country's citizens out of the former apartheid enclave. Many citizens heeded to the call and about 640 registered to return home. On Wednesday, the first batch of 188 Nigerians arrived Lagos from the Rainbow Nation, singing Home Sweet Home. They appear happy to be out of the harrowing experience, as we have seen in some of the videos that captured their moments of departure. Let's share some of them with you.
Let's go there. We are now. No come Nigeria, no come.
Meanwhile, TVC News was on ground at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to capture their arrival. Let's share the story with you as packaged by our correspondent, Ademola Lawrence.
It was a wait that was finally over for journalists who waited for more than 8 hours to receive the returnees from South Africa. The flight was initially scheduled for 2 p.m. Nigerian time, but was later delayed due to immigration issues that lasted for more than 3 hours before they boarded. At exactly 9:33 p.m., the Boeing 77 aircraft that departed Thabo Mbeki International Airport, Johannesburg, landed at the cargo wing of the Murtala International Airport. Breathing the air of relief, the returnees, who among them are adults, children and infants, expressed their joy upon returning home safely. They were received by the chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri, and the National Emergency Agency, Nigeria Immigration Service, and the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. Mrs. Dabiri was said over 600 Nigerians had indicated interest to return home, adding that the government was ready to assist them to settle back in the country through its various social intervention programs.
The first thing is communication. So we're going to ensure that they communicate with their families. So there's an airtime of almost 2 months, which is worth almost about 40,000 naira. So thousands of minutes of airtime, so they will not be tired of talking to their people. Then Bank of Industry will be on ground here to offer some entrepreneurship programs. So for those who, want to do a little something, there'll be some little funds from Bank of Industry to help them settle in. Then subsequently, they can look into bigger scale entrepreneurship.
The CEO of Airpeace, Mr. Oyema, believes will show the world that Nigerians are their brother's keepers.
We have demonstrated to the world that no outsider can break our bond in this country. We may have our differences, yes, of course, but the good thing is that over the years, in our 50 years of living, Nigerians don't want to go their separate ways. We want to be together, and we've demonstrated today that we want to be Nigerians and known as Nigerians. This, we have shown the world that we are together and nobody can break our resolve to be together.
Hello, sir. Some of the returnees recanted the horror they faced back in the Rainbow country. They said they were unjustly attacked by South Africans who destroyed their businesses and properties in the fresh xenophobic attacks that began on August 29th.
It was a very terrible situation in South Africa. Xenophobia attack is it's a very dangerous situation because we are witness what happened over there in South Africa. It's not somebody that uses number 6 that will still stay back there. No.
You see me, we are tired. I say I left virtually everything in that house.
I feel so good and so peaceful coming back to my father's land.
President Muhammadu Buhari announced September 8 ordered the immediate evacuation of Nigerians who had indicated interest to leave South Africa after receiving reports from the special envoy deployed to the country.
The CEO of Airpeace actually said he invested like 280 million, 80 million naira in bringing those people back home, not as reported. Babajide, when you want to look at the gesture of Chief Allen Oyema, because I'm sure he's not the richest Nigerian, but when the video we saw, I'm sure in the course of this thing, they might play that video.
Maybe tomorrow, if we have an update, we can let Nigeria see that video. When
he entered into the aircraft on arrival, and he was crying.
He was mobbed.
Yes, they were hugging him and all that.
Were very appreciative of his gesture.
Yes.
Here is a Nigerian who was not contacted by anybody. Because when you hear the president ordered immediate evacuation, you want to think that the president gave the instruction for Airpeace to go
and federal government paid them.
Federal government paid them. No, that didn't happen. We live and die by saying the truth. So this is the truth. He did it all by himself. It's money. So it takes a good Nigerian, the sort of Nigerian that I will be proud of any day, to take this kind of decision, to say, look, we have to evacuate these people. And when they took that decision, you know the usual Nigerian way of dismissing anything that is good. We were told that Nigerians were not interested in coming home. Did you not see it on Twitter? They say, oh, no. Somebody even said that he was there, that everybody that said they don't want to come home. Yet, at the last count, more than 640 Nigerians had already indicated a desire to come home. So when we talk like this, are we trying to discourage our government from doing what is right? From Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, more than 800 persons, including 200 kids, are already in shelters provided for them, awaiting evacuation to their country. For God's sake, South Africa is not the best country in the world. So why would anybody want to die there? What is it that they've got that other countries have not got? After all, even their economy is not stable. So what are we talking about? People want to leave South Africa. We should stop giving the impression that the Nigerians they didn't want to leave. If they didn't want to leave, those people have come home.
Some of them would have even made this first batch. I gathered
they are trying to stop them.
Yes.
They are trying to stop even the evacuation. Because they know what... No, the government is even stepping in and trying to stop the evacuation, the mass evacuation of Nigerians. Because they know what it means. The thugs, the South African thugs, who are blaming Nigerians for the fact that they can't find jobs, they do not know what they are doing. But the government knows. Because it's the economy of South Africa that will suffer in the final analysis.
It's a very wrong signal to international community.
Yes, and everyone is talking. It has never been this bad for them. You know, they've been doing this thing for years. They even do it to themselves. Yeah. Remember when Buthelezi and ALC were killing themselves.
In Qatar Freedom Party.
Black on black violence. They've been doing it for years. They don't see anything bad in killing people. But for the first time, you saw a good response from other African countries, Rwanda and others. So at least this will send a message. Someone asked, they said some of these people will go back in no time. I said, look at this one. They've lost, many of them have lost everything that they had. So what are you going back to do? Look at the one man said, the places where he used to even supply his goods, all of those places have been destroyed. So where do I now supply my goods? It's a matter of survival for people.
Charles, looking at the program of integration that has been designed for them, from what Honorable Abike Dabiri has just hinted us, you see that we could see that it's not perhaps too bad.
No, that's a stopgap arrangement. It can be a far-reaching arrangement. Because government wasn't also ready for this. It's not easy capturing the budget. It's something that it's a happenstance.
We're talking about Bank of Industry.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's a happenstance. So what government needs to do, praiseworthy as it seems, let government not be omniscient in their decision. What I mean is that thinking that they know what to do for them. Thankfully, they want to do proper profiling. Then know people who want to do what. If, for instance, you have some of them who have entrepreneurial training, you can train them. Then, as he's talking about Bank of Industry, good. You can help them microcredit. That the payback, what do you call it, the interest may be very, very minimal. So that you need to help them to set up themselves, so that will now make them to have a feeling of belonging, that they can also have a meaningful life here in Nigeria, since they have suffered misfortunes over there in South Africa. So some of them who also are qualified, they have good qualifications. I mean, what I mean, they are well certificated. You can also look for, it could be this Empower, something that can just give them life, quality life, while they are here in Nigeria. So that it doesn't seem as if... But so that it doesn't seem as if they face misfortune over there. They're coming over here now, then they are facing greater misfortune. So that will not be. But thankfully, I want to praise the government for this intervention they are planning to do. But they must do a proper profiling, learn to find who wants to do what, and then funds can be deployed to that so that they can succor them while they are here with us. Most of them in the long run may not even go back to wherever, and they can find that peace of mind, and then the fortunes that they thought they could find in South Africa, they can also find it here in their return. So that's the way I see it, Ayo.
Jude, how can we stem the tide of this mentality of it's when I go abroad that I'll make something meaningful out of my life? Some are even as desperate that they embark on such journey by road. Yes,
by even the Mediterranean and
end up in Libya.
Yes.
From Libya, they want to cross to Europe. The desperation. If you go to American embassy, the Canadian embassy, if you look at the number of people that it's, pay visa fee, every other month, that they want to leave the country.
Oh, so job-related immigration is a global thing. It's not a problem
peculiar to
Nigeria. Americans are traveling to China, learning Chinese language to go and work there, because they can see that China has achieved prosperity, at least to a great extent. So Americans are going there, they are learning Chinese language, they are going there to work. It's a good thing. Even Britons too are going, not because their own countries are not great, or because their economy is not doing well. The American economy is doing well now under Donald Trump. So but the mass movement of people out of Nigeria to find greener pasture elsewhere is related to misgovernance, bad governance over the years. We've never been lucky with good leaders. We've never been lucky. That's why when a government does something so little,
we are praising, we are applauding them.
In actual fact, it amounts to tokenism. Yes. We praise them to high heavens, and they suddenly lose their heads. Some of them will talk to us like they are not even responsible to Nigerians. We see some people in government talk like that. So this is the thing. Doctors will leave our country because the conditions here do not assure them of prosperity. Bankers will leave Nigeria here for Canada because they know that no matter how much we pay them, if they suffer a serious, debilitating ailment, you know that is not their salary. Because I have someone, I know a bank here, I know a bank in Nigeria, that a lot of their staff are in Canada today, to the point that those former staff of that bank now set up a WhatsApp platform.
Of
this white bank. So this is the thing. People want to live to places where their children are guaranteed of solid education, even
and future,
free.
And
as long as
facilities.
they will pay those taxes, but government will take care of other things. You can't give that guarantee in Nigeria. The health system in Nigeria is one of the worst in the world. Education, we are not there. Go and check Human Development Index and see where we are as a country. Then you will see why Nigerians don't want to stay here for one minute. They would rather die in the deserts of Libya on their way to Spain and other places than stay here. So this is the thing. If the government, if there's good governance, more people will stay here because they will see a future for themselves here. The population, I mean, the unemployment rate is already around 30%.
Okay, I have Oye. Oye is calling us from California, United States of America.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you, Oye. Thank you for joining us.
We are in evening here.
I'll say good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think it's my lucky month. I think I've played the lottery because every time I've got it through. So.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay, I think that's the second time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, concerning the evacuation of Nigerians, I'd love to give credit to the APs for what they've done. You know, I also send a good message to all Nigerians. You don't wait for the government before you get things done.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
Evacuate this Nigerian. I'm very sure they'll still be there and the government will be making plans. But it's a good thing they're all back. And I'm also thankful to God that Journalist Hangout has defeated that belief that Nigerians don't want to leave. Those Nigerians want to leave Nigeria if things are working, and it's a fact. I work for the DOD. I've been here for over 9 years. And if I have my way, I'll still move back to Nigeria.
Nigeria, that's it.
Exactly.
But the things that we don't have working out there is what's driving everyone to leave.
That's patriotism. Good.
This is just going to be the end of everything. Nigeria also has to take a very firm stand concerning what's going on in South Africa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for always watching.
Let me quickly add to what.
You know, there's even, I'm sure you touch on that, even this insecurity is a factor in the migration of Nigerians.
Exactly. But if
you don't feel safe in your country,
nobody don't feel safe. But let me quickly add to it. I come from Edo State. If you go to Benin, for instance, I'm looking at factors responsible. No, I don't want to. Don't talk about headquarters of anything. No, I'm not going about headquarters. No, hold on. But when you go to Benin, for instance, I was in Benin quite recently. When driving through the streets and where there were some communities we went to, the kind of houses that are springing up. Okay, these are houses you find in Italy, in Sicily, in Rome and all that. Beautiful and expensive. I say, who owns this one? And a boy of about 20 years, or 23 years, a lady of about 18 years. And,
How?
They don't they're over there. They're over there abroad, and then they bring money home. Now, the question is that the guy who is here, who has graduated from Uniben, and he's going to do master, he wants to have a kind of house, he wants to have kind of not a car. What are you going to tell him that will make him remain here? So there is this pull from this place over there, because you are telling yourself that if you have a degree in whatever discipline, you have a master in whatever discipline, you are not guaranteed any good life here in Nigeria. So, but this belief is that once you are able to just cross the desert of Libya, and then you are able to go through those DG goats and the boats and you are on either city or anywhere that you are guaranteed safe. But it doesn't go like that. But that's just the truth, and that's the reality. You know.
Finally, Jide, if we are to look at it, Nigerians are still there that will see this video that will want to come home. Yes. And what should our government do with South African government telling them not to stop them? Because I understand that they've been springing this bottleneck about their papers, how do they get in, how our government can help them so that they can bring them safely back home.
Yes, the government has to step in, and we have to behave like a strong African nation. We are the leader of the continent. Our actions must show that we are indeed leaders. We cannot play second fiddle to South Africa, because we are the true giant of Africa. If we play second fiddle to them, they will continue to disrespect us. So on this matter, our interest has to be paramount. Our people want to come back home, do whatever it takes to ensure that they come back home. In future, we can discuss how these killings can stop. But for now, that the government has not been able to stop it, is spreading, we have to find a way to get our people home and save their lives.
All right. For the approaching November 16 governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states, the list of parties that would battle in the polls is out. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, 59 political parties in Kogi and 64 in Bayelsa conducted primaries to choose flag bearers for the elections. The electoral umpire said most of the parties conducted their primaries through affirmation, except the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party, though we still have to wait for the list of contestants to come out. Babajide, Charles, let me start from Charles now. November 16th, and from what we've seen so far, yes, apart from it might be a two-horse race in those states.
Both states, yes.
And we are told that those other political parties, they just did affirmation in choosing, which is allowed according to INEC. So, but we have the PDP and the APC, they've conducted their primaries, and election proper is what we're looking at now. Let's start from Kogi State.
Well, you have contenders, you have pretenders. Okay, so just as you said, the focus is mainly going to be on these two parties because over time they've shown that determination that they want to actually build enduring structure, which of course we have seen in all the states in Nigeria. I don't see any, I can't recall where you have any governor from outside these two parties. So Kogi and Bayelsa are not going to be anything different. So if we go to Kogi, for instance, the Wadada just came out. It's not going to be a pushover. But thankfully, the masterstroke, I call it master, that's my language, masterstroke by Jide's former governor, because Jide is no more, he's now a executive man.
Thank you for saying that.
So he has been able to put some things here and there about paying some backlog. You know, Nigerians are easy to please. You are owing somebody 12 months, you pay 5 months. They will applaud you. So we are saying that the horse race, the two-horse race in Kogi, though it might be fierce, but whether you like it or not, there are people who, because of this little the token that you have given to them, most of them are also going to be clapping their hands for Yahya Bello. So whatever, but there's also one whom I forgot his name now, who is of the ADC.
No, four of them are from women.
Okay, you have 4 women exactly. Up to seven in Bayelsa.
Where's Akuti?
So
yes.
I forget exactly. So it's somebody who just can't wish away because he's been on ground for a while. She's also done a lot.
Strong in Okene.
Yeah, she's also done good for herself, for even people around the Ibira area. So if you look at it, not that she's likely to spring any surprise, but she can do a little damage to that equation over there. But I don't see any offset at all. I don't see any offset.
But imagine when you look at the equation right now, and from the consolidation that has taken place so far within the All Progressive Congress, do you in any way see any other political party beating Yahya Bello? Because Yahya Bello seemed to, have reached out and seemed to be getting his own work right as an incumbent right now in the last few weeks.
Well, it's the people of Kogi that will judge. I see people sit on Facebook and other places suddenly transforming into experts at analyzing Kogi matters. Some of them clearly after being bribed, so-called influencers and all that. But the truth is, it is the people of Kogi that we judge. Charles talked about paying salaries at the last minute and all that. Memeko did it in Ondo State. He still didn't stop his candidate from losing. Because people will sometimes ask that, why did you leave it this late? Why did you have to suffer me for so long? So the guarantee for re-election in Nigeria, the guarantee for people's votes, to secure people's votes, is good governance. Give them good governance. Point at what you have done. We have challenged Yahya Bello on this program that, look, stop the the appetite for controversy. Show people what you have done. You are doing rice meal in Ejiba. Show them what you have done. But you must show them the road that leads to Ejiba. Because there are no roads in that area. I passed through that area this week from Egbe. In fact, the misfortune of Kogi is that once you come into Kogi State, either from Kwara or from Ekiti, you see clearly a heritage of bad roads. You see clearly, it stares you in the face. Anybody who thinks I'm lying, I dare that person to go to the state. Come into Kogi through Ekiti, or come in through Kwara. When you get to Egbe, you will know that you are in Kogi State. Because I witnessed this last week. So maybe you can tar all those roads before the election. We don't know, because if we can do it, it will really make a massive difference. It's not enough to make up with party leaders that you have disrespected over the years. The people that you need to make up with are the masses. Party leaders may not necessarily guarantee you victory, because those same party leaders, they supported some APC candidates that lost the last election. It didn't stop them from losing in Bauchi, in Adama. So, but the people matter more than party leaders. So you have to connect with the people. Someone asked me, Jide will win the election. We learned that you went home. At this stage, I don't predict months to an election. You and I know that it's usually 2-3 days to the election.
Yes, that's right.
What if you say no? Somebody big can go and join the APC.
Yes,
now.
I mean, I'm overnight.
And then it could turn to even a landslide.
Yes.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
That will alter the whole calculation. Somebody big can leave the APC and go to. So if you predict now,
then
2 months to the election, and that sort of movement happens, you now look like a fool. That your friends now will now quickly jump in. Hey, we told you that it's fake. They will jump at. We don't want to abuse him today. We want to leave him alone. Let him have peace today. Because so that we don't turn this to a terror weapon today. So we don't want to do that. The Kogi election, the way I see it, is it can go either way. At this stage, it can go either way. I'm telling you, it can go either way. What we just want is let's have free and fair election. Don't give us an election that will diminish us.
Or beginning to go to court and
let's have free and fair election. You know, our people must not be diminished. They must not be harassed with guns, with cutlasses. No, we don't want that. Let's have free and fair election.
Their votes must
when that happens, it diminishes us as a people. It reduces us to the level of animals. When you are using cutlasses to chase people on the election day, we don't want that. Let's have free and fair election and let the will of the people prevail.
That's right.
All right. I'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you live from our headquarters here in Lagos Television Continental, and we are looking at the Kogi and Bayelsa election ahead of November 16. Gentlemen, Bayelsa is like, will I call it a done deal?
Charles? Done deal for who?
I don't know.
No. Jide just told you there are dynamics in politics that can always rubbish any forecasting. Okay, it's not a science where I know there's political science, but politics is not a science where 2 + 2 is always 4. Because the 2 + 2 overnight some figures can happen even in a meeting in the wee hours of the morning can turn certain things. But I do know that Dixon has done well for himself. He will want to hand the baton over to somebody who he feels might continue with the legacy he had left behind, the countryman governor. But again, you can't also wish the APC away from that, because APC, when you have people like Timi Silva, who are godfathers of APC politics in that place, you really can't.
So they have a strong candidate.
They also have a strong. That Diri is for PDP.
Yes.
So when you have such a, I can't. For me now, I can't really bet any money on whether PDP will carry the day, because what's his name? Timmy Principal, he also has war chest, whether you like it or not. And if he deploys such a thing for all his full soldiers to support the man who is there now, I mean, I'm not sure. Dixon himself may also be having it well as we speak. It may be having sleepless nights. Because even you also have the party themselves, the party itself also has this, whether you like it or not, you have the Jonathan faction and you have the Dixon faction. That's also there, something that can bring about the undoing within the party if they also reserve some of these things. But I think, to say what you said earlier, all we need to do, whether the pendulum swings the APC way, swings the PDP way, let the vote of the people count at the end of the day so that we can begin to beat our chest that indeed our governance, our democratic process is maturing. And then that's exactly what I think.
You agree with me that the politics of Kogi State is different from Bayelsa State, the way it has been, and they've enjoyed a kind of stability over time. And we don't know, except something goes wrong.
Yes. And it has to be something.
Which is not,
you know, the thing is, the Bayelsa election will be highly monetized. And the APC candidate is a money bag.
Yeah, it's a money bag, yes.
It's a money bag. Silva, who is his godfather, is a money bag. So, and Dixon all along had been known to not like spending money. If he goes to that contest and he maintains his good name
austere
of not wanting to spend money, APC will cause an upset. And if there's a chance for them to cause an upset, I think that
this is the time.
It is this year. But it is still a PDP state. PDP is much stronger. It's only in a small part of the state that APC had always won election, and that is the brass area, where Silva comes from. So it's still a PDP state. And some of the things that people say, oh, Jonathan, these things, those Jonathan's influence in Bayelsa politics is exaggerated. It's just like pointing to Obasanjo's influence in Ogun State politics. It's non-existent. It's non-existent. The masses or the voters really do not factor them into their decision making. So, and they also talk about Jonathan's wife. Jonathan's wife could not stop this thing from winning in 2015. There's no way Jonathan's wife, who rarely talks these days, will be able to stop.
Well, not talking. They are not in power.
They are not in power anymore. They are not in power anymore. So, it's still the PDP still remains the party to beat in that state. It's for them to win.
All right, now, the hues and cries about the decision of the federal government to close Nigeria's land borders are mounting. But it seems that they would remain closed, according to the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, retired Colonel Amid Ali. Speaking on the developments, Ali insisted on the closure of the borders unless the country and its neighbors agree on existing ECOWAS protocol on movement of people and goods. He said the closure, codenamed Operation Border Drill, has helped the country to stop importation of contraband and influx of smuggled rice. Charles,
yes.
The last time I checked, a kilo of turkey is now 1,600 naira. I was like, are you for real?
A delicate of rice 300, so I was told.
So I now asked the woman that, what happened now? This thing used to be 1.2, want to be 1.3. I said, because of this border, I've been closed and everything.
Yes.
So, but at the same time, they're saying that they're trying to control this, activities of smugglers around this border. How far can we go with this border closure?
Well, border closure for economy, what is one of the tools you use to protect your own economy, internal economy, because for instance, now we are making, I think right now our production capacity in Nigeria, rice production is about 5.8 metric tons per year, which is not very okay for us when you talk about our consumption rate in Nigeria, but it's better than when it was below zero. Okay, so when you want to increase the activities of these rice growers and all that, you need to shut your borders so that they also can take up where they stop and to increase their own production capacity. But my problem is that when you close the border, the question is, the demand is very high, and then the local production is still very low. We have not been able to meet at the equilibrium level. So what I think the government should do is that, yeah, close the border, but again, we have to hasten in getting to see all these other borders through, I mean, all this country, through where you have these leakages in the border, these porous borders. If we can find a way, this COA protocol they talk about now, to look at it, how we can resolve these issues, so that if we think that people are going to be bringing things in through the ports, not through all these unmanned borders, it can also help to bring down the prices of goods. Because when you hurt the personal economy of the people in Nigeria, it's not going to be good for the image of the government. Because as we speak now, if the APC government, if the APC government, if we have to go into election now, they may not be able to have it well because of the perception of people that people are hungry. And when you are hungry, there's no way you can love a government. So I think they should hasten. I'm not saying they should open the border, because right now there's a way we can do that to protect our economy, as I said. But I don't know how long it's going to take for people to begin to buy that delicate rice for 300 naira between now and Christmas. You know what it's going to look like if it continues. Even the lake rice we said, Lagos State and Kogi State, that lake rice is seasonal. I'm not sure you can see lake rice every day apart from Blue Christmas and Ile and so on.
It's available if you want.
And then if you want to do it, do you also pass through? Do you get in the open market?
No, it's in the open market. I can tell you where to buy it.
But what is the rate? I mean,
so
what
you want to buy it? I'll tell you where to buy it.
So that's the level you are. But close the border is good for us to say. But again, government must have to also help us to shore up our production level so that we can meet at the equilibrium level.
But actually, are we not going to hurt ourselves more?
You know,
with the closure of this border.
What are we talking about? What are the things coming in?
Food.
The things coming in are already contraband goods, smuggled cars. You see what Benin Republic is doing to us that hurts the government is the fact that on those smuggled cars that you are not making money, they are making money. They are allowing their country to, they are allowing those contraband goods to come in through their country, and they are collecting money. They collect tax. Now, you know what they do? From both Benin Republic and Niger Republic are guilty. They will send cars from Cotonou here because they know that it's a lot more difficult to bring in cars through the southern land borders. Okay. They would drive almost 2,000 kilometers. They would drive from Cotonou right up to Sokoto area and bring it into the country. How? A convoy of thousands of cars line up coming from Benin Republic, driving right up to Niger Republic because they share borders. They will bypass. They will come in. It's not a matter of, they will drive through the land, come by land. Okay. Come in, get into Niger Republic through Benin Republic. And from Niger Republic, they will come in through the Sokoto area into Nigeria. But at every point, you will pay money to their security people. That is the sort of money that Nigeria is losing. If we are saying that, because, you know, when we were boasting that, oh, everybody is eating local rice now, and I said it was a lie from the pit of hell. We still consume more imported rice. How does it come into our country? Benin Republic is a country of 16 million people, yet it is today the second highest importer of rice. How did they suddenly become? Who eats the rice? 16 million people. The rice that comes to Benin Republic eventually finds its way to Nigeria. 80%. So some merchants will put rice in ships, avoid our ports here. You know how the whimsical nature of our port operations. They will avoid our port, come to the port of Benin, and then send the rice in convoys of trailers into our country. We challenge our government to do something. I attack the government on this program. There's no way I will not support what they have done now. It's just not possible. It's just not possible that I will not support what they have done now. Because I know that the bulk of rice going into Benin Republic ends up in Nigeria. If not 95% or 99%. Who are the people consuming the rice that made them second highest
in the world?
Second highest. This is from statistics provided by Thailand. By the rice growers in Thailand. This is what I'm telling you. So we have become so wide open to all commerce. People coming from Chad, people coming from Niger, they just do what they like through our borders. What I want to see is for them to move beyond this point and secure our border so that Boko Haram will not be able to bring in weapons through the same border. It's not enough to just block people from bringing in food. If we say we have banned importation of rice through the land borders, for God's sake, nobody should bring in rice through the land borders because we are trying to use it to protect the local farmer.
Yeah, exactly.
Rice mills in Nigeria are folding up because they took money from banks. They took money from banks and imported rice.
Yeah,
which Nigerians prefer, it's not allowing them to buy their own rice.
They're even cheaper.
So this is the thing. Is any responsible government will want to do what we have done. Niger Republic has agreed now that it will no longer take tax on rice, or it will no longer even export rice to Nigeria. You know what it means by exporting rice to Nigeria? Allowing small good rice to come into Nigeria.
But the question, what's the stopgap measure that the government can put in place for to continue to hurt individual economy? That's where I get bored at. Yes, do this as government may in order to also help our local economy. But the everyday people are suffering, and then government must look for a way to make sure that these ones are taken care of. Why you are solving that problem? That's exactly where I'm bothered.
If we must bring in goods through the land borders, you should be ready to pay.
Yes.
So if they can devise a means by which people pay, then
revenue,
government will make more. But the people we are dealing with don't want to pay a dime. They just want to turn us to a dumping ground for all kinds of
when we remain in hunger.
Even tramadol and all kinds of things come into our country, containerized into our country. So I support the government wholeheartedly on this.
Okay, moving on now. A common Yoruba proverb goes thus: when a blacksmith persistently hits his iron on a spot, then something is amiss. Despite public disagreement, President Muhammadu Buhari has insisted that Boko Haram insurgents have been degraded. Speaking in Abuja while playing host to officials of the International Committee of the Red Cross, President Buhari said remnants are bandits and they will be treated as such. Babajide, you are just coming from Borno State, and I'm sure you would have gotten a lot of feedback because Borno State is the
hotbed.
The hotbed for the fight against insurgency and their operations there.
Yes, honestly, the president can call them what he likes. Call them bandits, call them pirates. All I'm interested in is defeat these people. For now, you have not defeated them. I'm not interested in this story of degrading, diminish, all of the English words that we can find. You just defeat these people, crush them. The way Tamil Tigers crushed, the way the Sri Lankan government crushed Tamil Tigers. Crush them is possible. Let's crush them. We are wasting time. Our strategies are not good. This is the point. This is the point. I speak with soldiers all the time. There's no year that at least twice a year I will not go and see soldiers on the front line. I put my life at risk. I go to know what's going on. Because I don't want any army spokesman to simply come and lie to me that this is what is happening. No. I hold the Nigerian people that obligation to let them know what's going on. I hold the soldiers the obligation to get what they are going through across to our leaders. And that is what I'm doing. The truth is, we have not defeated the enemy. There's no week now that these guys don't kill our soldiers. There's no week that they don't attack an army base or even ambush army trucks. Sometimes twice a week. What are we talking about? We have created what the army chiefs call the super camp, the idea of the super camp. The idea of the super camp will not work. What we have simply done is that we have abandoned communities that we used to protect for those communities to be on their own. No more checkpoints, wide expanse of land, hundreds of kilometers, nobody manning. In the name of super camp, you move people from this army base into another one. You make that one bigger and stronger. But what of the space? Who protests that stretch where they used to be? Who protests? That's why what happened in Gubbio and Magumeri happened, because there was nobody to protect the people. So Boko Haram could afford to stay there for up to 5 hours, burning houses. Now, if we continue this way, more and more IDPs will be created. And what the army commanders don't also know is that the idea of the super camp will not stop you from moving around. You want to do the garrison town of Manguno, you have a big army base there. Fantastic. You want to do admin work, you will send people on errands.
Exactly, and then how do they get
and because those roads are not protected, no checkpoint, they will come under arms fire from the enemy. We saw it happen on Manguno Road. If we have a situation in which 135 kilometers, Borno to Maiduguri to Borno, 135 kilometers, there are only 2 communities where people are living in. Gajigana and Gajiram, 2 communities.
135 kilometers.
Yes. In between. Before, we used to have up to 15 villages along that road. People have fled.
Yeah, they won't fled because of the insecurity.
So we can call them bandits. We can call them what we want to call them. The end justifies the means. Just defeat them. That is what matters.
Charles,
yeah.
But maybe the president is trying to boost the morale of the soldiers, or he's trying to, from the report he has gotten, that this is the situation. But we keep hearing these attacks.
I think when he was talking to that man from Red Cross, I saw a president was trying to do damage control to want to shift attention from what is happening to us. So this thing you are hearing is not the way you are seeing it. That's what I saw when I watched that. But I think it's going to be an undoing for us to belittle what's happening in the Northeast and christen it banditry. Because right now, while we are having a concerted effort to fight insurgency, because insurgency is a big threat to the corporate existence of Nigeria. Now, if you now decide to say, okay, you are renaming it banditry, banditry is not as serious, it's not as serious as insurgency. When you say banditry, now the war against banditry will not be as serious as the war against insurgency. So what it means is that you are now going to divert attention, and then the concerted effort, that seriousness we have put against the fight against insurgency, you now bring it as if you now, like a policeman, will now be fighting banditry. And that's dangerous. That's just because it will now become, okay, military will now relax because, oh, the war is not as difficult.
Because the president has said...
We relax, that's it. So, but I think, as Jill said, we must be all out and make sure we crush, whether they are bandit, whether they are insurgent, we crush them, bring peace into this country. Then we can now hand over the whole thing to the police to say, okay, you do what you're supposed to do in the civil policing that we're talking about. I
have a caller. Olushoga is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I want to officially thank Mr. Babatunde Babajide. Hello?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to sincerely thank Mr. Babajide. I'm very grateful for all his efforts. Please, I want to beg if he can beg the authority of the Air Force and the Army together. Because when the Air Force is going to shell, they will be saying they have shelled the village and they have about the village. So what is happening? Why can't they call the Army that they are going to shell the village and the Army will go on ground? And it will be easy.
Ground troops.
Now, what I'm looking at is that they are just making money on this issue. Airport is claiming, making money. Airport is claiming, making money. Army is also making money for what? They don't want this thing to stop. So please, they should call the authority. If Air Force is going on air, let Army go on land. But this is what they are propagating that I bombed a village. So please, I just want to employ propaganda to put more efforts that this day should stop.
Thank you, Olushoga.
We are tired of.
Thank you, Olushoga. Julie, tactically, we can't be telling them what to do.
No, that's why I'm saying that Gajigana and Ganze are the only 2 communities. Gajigana and Ganze, only 2 communities along Maiduguri Monguno Road, 135 kilometers. Gajigana is, I think it's about 30 kilometers even to Maiduguri. So 135 kilometers, people are not living, just two communities.
They're deserted.
And deserted, they've run away. There's a local government in Borno State called Mate, you won't find people. Go. Already I've mentioned communities where the big politicians from there, they dare not go home. Guzamala local government is the local government of the Speaker of Borno State House of Assembly. He dare not go home. Boko Haram is in control of Guzamala local government. They even take taxes from our people.
Taxes?
Yes. Nobody is guiding those communities. People have left.
As in they've conquered that territory.
The military is not guiding Guzamala local government. So the people are left with Boko Haram. Yes. So they make you to pay tax. The same way they made people to pay tax in Baga when it happened.
The fishing village.
Yes. So this is the thing. The army, they have their own methods of prosecuting this war. I don't know why it appears that the Air Force and the Army, they are working at cross purposes.
Exactly.
The Air Force is carrying out its own bombing raids. Army too, they are doing their own.
No infantry.
They are supposed to work together.
To complement each other.
Supposed to work together. They do remember what the former NSA said, that when he talks to the service chiefs, he gives them advice, they don't listen. I mean, it's still the NSA, Monguno. Monguno says yes now, some months back.
Okay, still
that
the
service,
NSA.
Still the NSA. Well, the Monguno said the service chiefs don't listen.
Imagine that, and that's subordination.
And the new Minister of Defense said he can see clearly that the service chiefs are not working together.
No synergy.
Yes, there's no synergy. He said it. This same Minister of Defense, the new Minister of Defense, went to Gubio. He saw for himself that soldiers were not on ground. He asked the people. And they said soldiers don't stay here to guide us anymore.
That's expensive.
I was in Borno State when he went there. This is what happened. The people told him that we are not being guided. He can't deny that he was told. The minister can't deny that he was told. So we must do something.
My position is that the president, apart from fighting insecurity, he must be remembered for the president who brought about an end to insecurity in Nigeria.
There. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just ideal. Ideal. Thank you.
All of you are wrong.
I don't want them to know how to pronounce it.
No, because it's CHAS.
Oh, no,
Charles.
you know why? Charles, you waste words by...
And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade-Otitoju. Thank you for always being there. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on our platforms showing on the screen. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Zubakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.